may I say gives the yield. Multiply the two by the time, theoretical time. Now let's look at this example. Consider 6-month futures contract on asset that is expected to provide an income equal to 2%. That's our yield. Q is 2%. Of the asset price once during 6-month period. Time is what? 6 months. And 6 months is 6 over 12, which is 0.5. So the risk-free rate of interest continuous compounding is what? Is 10. R is what? Is 10%. The asset price is 25. That is SO. Stock price is what? 25 naira. What is the price of the future? What we do according to the formula I gave you before is what? SO into R minus Q into T. And what are SO? 25. 25 into what? What's our R? R is 10, 0.10 minus 2%, 0.02. Everything to time. What's our time? 0.5. So 25 into what? 2% minus 10%, 0.08 into 0.5. Dear students, there's one fundamental error we are about to commit. Please, let's correct ourselves. Let's go back to the question and read carefully. Remember, the question says 2% of the asset price, that is, income is equal to 2% of the asset price during what? During the 6-month period. That means it is semi-annual payment. So in that case, we will not use 2%. It is what? It is 4% that we use. Yield will be 4%. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. The question says that it is 2% per 6 months. So the annual will be 4 months. So our Q will be 2 times 2, which is 4%. That is 2%. 2 times 2%. That's 4%. But we now discount this 4%. When we discount 4%, when we did the other time, it will give us what? 3.96%. So that is Q we will now use. It will be what? It will be 10% minus 3.96%. Please always read the question carefully before you tackle it. Every line in the question actually matters. Multiply by what? 0.5. So what it gives you when you press it the way I explained to you, that is 10 minus 3.5 multiplied by 5, you get that value. You press exponential of that, multiply by 25, it gives you what? It gives us 25.77. So that is the theoretical price of the asset that pays a loan yield. So that is for that. But when we are talking of the futures on commodity, you know, the futures things we have been doing so far is on financial assets, either stock or bond. But when we are talking of commodity, for commodity futures, implementing a risk-free arbitrage is not as straightforward as it seems to be, as several complications and risks must be taken into account. There are two major things that need to be considered. The two major decisions may exist when applied the cost of carrying model. The first thing is short selling that is not always possible in the futures on commodity. And the second restriction is that the commodity future may be subject to the existence of a confidence yield. Those are the two things that make the arbitrage opportunity somehow hard in the futures. In the futures on commodity, you might not sell what you don't have, which is possible in financial asset, because selling what you don't have now, it is what is known as a short selling. And also we have something we call confidence yield. When we are talking of confidence yield, what is confidence yield? Confidence yield simply refers to the benefit from ownership of a particular physical commodity that is not obtained by the owner of the futures commodity. For example, if you have a gold, for those that are having the position of the gold, there are some advantages that will be getting from that gold. So we can't compare the person that had the position of the gold with the person that has the position of the futures contract. Either we buy it later. For example, the longer position that I buy later. You buy later, you don't have it. It's the person that have it now that can benefit from the whatever benefits accrue to the owner of the gold. So the benefit the owner of the asset has, which does not enjoy by the owner of the future, is what is known as a confidence yield. So, and if the commodity is something that is physical, something that is tangible that you can owe, there are some costs that will involve in owning it. As person that even having a custody of that asset, we call this one cost of carry. And when we're talking of cost of carry, this simply means the storage cost of a commodity. That is what it takes the owner of the commodity to carry to the expiration date. And that one will not be suffered by what and by who? By the owner of the futures commodity. That's another area that we have to look at the futures and commodity. The person that is having the commodity in possession will incur some cost on it. That is, what will it take it to carry that commodity to the expiration before it could be delivered to the long? That is what is known as cost of carry. And as we said, this is physical storage cost of the commodity, the cost of spoilage, and the cost of insurance. And we can see this the component of the cost of carry. And the cost of carry increases the forward or future price relative to the spot price. If you know the cost of carry until maturity, which is you will treat it as a negative dividend. What we are saying in this is that when we have a Q to be yield under what? Under futures on financial asset, and you happens to be what? Should be cost of carry. That is cost of carry, and this cost of carry is usually added to the cost of the asset. Remember, Q or present value of the dividend is removed from the cost of the asset, but U on its own is added to the cost of the asset because it's part of the expenses incurred by the owner of the asset. So in this case, the formula will now be, that is, theoretical price of the future on the commodity will be what? Will be price of the stock plus present value of what? Of the cost of carry plus present value of cost of carry. Everything in brackets into our usual exponential and risk for R and T, that is interest risk-free rate and time to expiration. So that is a formula for which is on commodity. And otherwise, we just assume that the cost of carry is proportional to the value of the commodity and it's paid continuously at the rate of U. And when we see that U has been in proportion to the value of the commodity, it now becomes as if we are talking of the yield under what? Under futures commodity. And what happens is this: our V will not be equal to what? The stock price into what? Into our exponential. Don't forget that. Into R plus U. Remember, then it was what? It was R minus Q. But now it now be R plus U because the rate you are paying and the rate at which you are incurring in the storage of the commodity is a cost to you before you now put your time to expiration. That's an commodity. An important question that may arise is that, does the cost of carry have to be positive? We have to. Yes, it has to be positive, because positive here means that it's a cost, it's an added cost to the cost of the material. And if it is negative, it becomes what? It becomes convenience yield. If it's negative, it becomes convenience yield. So the convenience yield can only be negative. That is only fundamental. And any yield, so any convenience yield is lower to the option price. That is, lower the option price, and it makes the owner of the spot relatively attractive. And the only spot to be very attractive. And in general, the following should be, at least when we are talking of the commodity future, we are talking about the cost and we are talking about the benefit. And what are the costs in the commodity future? The cost simply means what? We have financial cost, we have a transport cost, we have what? And we also have a storage cost. These are the costs involved in the commodity. And we are talking of benefits. That is benefit in futures, in commodity futures, or futures on commodity. The benefits means what? We have a dividend as one of it. We have coupon that could be received, and we also have a lending rate. Please let's note all this one. Oh, sorry, the lending fee. And we are talking about lending fee. That is, those are somebody that has the possession of the asset. He can lend it and make money from it before he can eventually divide it to the portion of the loan. So that is why it is called what? It's called a confidence yield. So lending fee is also known as a confidence yield. And the benefit of owning the spot, which is a confidence yield, can outweigh the cost at times. And then you will see the future price below the spot rate. And this is what is called what? Backwardation. That is what I'm saying, is that when the benefit of owning what? Of owning the spot is outweigh the cost. So what we have then is called backwardation. So because the future price will be below the spot price. The future price will be below the less than spot price. So when the future price is below the spot price, we have a backwardation. Let's look at this example. Consider 1 year futures contract on investment assets that provides no income, and it costs what? It costs 2 naira per unit to store. Meaning our U is what? Is 2 naira. To store the asset with the payment being made at the end of the year. Also note that one, payment made at the end of the year, because there's difference for the one that made before the beginning of the year or at the end of the year. And assume the spot price is 450 per unit and the risk-free rate is what? Is 7 naira per annum for all maturity. Compute the future price. What this one is trying to tell us that our R is what? Is 7%, that's 0.07. Our what again? Our spot price, which is SO, is equal to 450, and we have our time to be 1. Time to expiration is 1. Remember they say per annum, that is 1. And our U, what's our U? Our U is 2, but we are not using 2 directly. We have to verify the present value of the U, and the present value of U will be equal to 2 naira into what? Into discount of, what's our R? They say our R rate is permanent through the time, times 1. So our U will be 1.865. So to now know the value of the asset, which is equal to what? Stock price into, remember we are adding cost of carry. Sorry, and yes, the cost of, which is U, into U, which is, remember the present value of U. So it should be equal to what? X, which is 450 plus 1.865 all into what? Into all our R, 0.07 times 1. So our final answer will be what? 485. Sorry, it's 484. Please put your calculator for the 484 naira and 63 kobo. That is the price of the future price of the asset if we incur the cost of carrying with it. You know, it's improved. It's improved from what? From 454 to 484. So that is that. We also have futures on the stock. That is future price on the stock indices. You know, the one we just did is normal stock, but now let's consider the stock